Good morning. Good morning. This is Yvette with Yvette's Turn. The let's see. Scripture, or what most people know as the Bible, has a passage that says, "No weapon formed against me shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against me shall surely be found to be in the wrong." There's a version, I kind of mixed King James and another version. I can't think of what that version is, but that's essentially what it's saying. And even as I'm saying these things to make the point, it is a confession. I'm saying it from the intent of confession. No weapon formed against me shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against me or has risen against me shall surely be found. You being found, it's being found out now, shall surely be found to be in the wrong, actually lying. Okay? Y'all, my voice is deep when I first wake up. I do have, I can sing, and singers, people who actually can sing, um, there we have highs and lows in our voices, and it'll clear up throughout the day. I was listening to, not trying to compare myself to, but it is what it is. I can sing. Listening to years ago, Whitney and Mariah being interviewed by Oprah, and there was a part in there, excuse me, there was a part in there where they were both talking about how they almost sound like men in the morning. Their voices are so deep. And then as the day goes on, it levels out. And then both of them have uh, range, a nice range, and I use the term or the present tense because we do still have Mariah with us, and we thank her for her work. And even though Whitney has crossed over, um, in trigger warning, even though Whitney has crossed over, she is still okay, and actually looks really good. I've seen her since she's passed. I've heard her sing since she's passed. I didn't recognize the song she was singing because it wasn't one of her tunes over here, that she did while she was on this side. But she looked good. She had on a white pantsuit and a white hat, and she was singing some kind of song. She's got her full voice back, like when she was in her prime and peak. She's got it back, baby, and she sounds good. Anywho, um, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. A lot of us are familiar with that. And every tongue that rises against me shall surely be found to be in the wrong. A threefold cord is not easily broken. I said that for a reason. Okay. Now, people are familiar with the no weapon form uh, scripture, but then there's another scripture where I believe it's y'all's Apostle Paul. I think it was him in the New Testament. In that uh, they took parts of actual scripture text and made up a New Testament. But some of the script where the scripture or ancient text that was used, there's truth in it, but it's being credited to support a made up narrative. Okay, but that's not even my point. Along with the no weapon formed against me shall prosper, there's I think it was Apostle Paul that said we are not ignorant of Satan's devices. Okay? We are not ignorant of Satan's devices. So, what's your point, Yvette? Weapons form, and but they won't prosper. But there's something, if you are of light, if you are a high vibrational being, and not a low vibrational, or in other words, i.e., evil entity or being, you need to pay attention and know how evil works. I'm gonna give you an example, and watch. Even Jesus said, "Watch as well as pray." Pay attention to things, because divine will connect the dots. Okay? Yo, let me get a swig of water real quick. Give me just a second. Divine will connect the dots. Um, and I'm going to give you an example to tie watch as well as pray, spiritual and natural, in the spirit realm, and paying attention to natural. No, yes, no weapon formed against us shall prosper, light workers. And every tongue that rises against us shall be found to be in the wrong. But with that, and I'm not, let me take out the conjunction but, because that just is what it is. In addition to that, we are not ignorant of Satan's devices. Here is an example. This past summer, I don't get sick. Okay. This past summer, I got really sick. Okay. And in the natural, it seemed to have been something that I picked up from a restaurant. Okay. Because I don't think the food was fresh. All right. But remember, things start spirit first. Okay. When you have people trying to take you down, take you uh, out for reasons they think you don't know about, and then some of you may not know why. Okay, you've been treated and done the way you've been done, all these different things. There comes a point when divine starts, uh, what do they call it? The curtain call, or closing in. I like that, closing in. But let me finish my example. So I end up feeling sick. I felt okay after I ate the food, and this is from a restaurant. The next day I got really sick, and the sickness manifested. I don't want to be graphic with it, but it really had me feeling bad over the course of. It really took a while to recover from it, for about a month or two. Okay, I did not have to go to the ER. Did not. And I was had shared that uh, with several people, you know, that I had been sick and was recovering from it. It took a while to recover from it. I'm showing you how the enemy works now, y'all, and I'm waking up. Okay, so give me a minute to get my words together. there were some people that when I told them that, I get this sympathy or this reaction that, oh no, I'm glad you're better and all of this stuff. When really, in spirit first, it was sent from them. Wow. Uh, lower level entities or something sent from them in the spirit, and it manifested, even though they were nowhere around, in the natural, with me getting this food and that happening. And it, like I said, it took about a month to recover from it. Probably, maybe a little bit more, to fully recover from it. But this, watch now, pay attention, don't fade out on me, because if you come by my channel, you're either one of those lower level entities, or that operates like this, or you're someone who has been attacked and targeted by these lower level entities. And I'm talking about in human form, people. Okay? So, oh no, well, I'm glad you're better. And what they do, even though they know they sent it, these people in high level, like governments and stuff, they do this too. They'll send things and do things, but to what they call balance out, even in accounting. See, I like numbers and for things to balance, okay, to make sense. And I majored in accounting in college. You learn an equation that assets equal liabilities plus owner's equity. There always has to be a balance and things reconcile things or to keep balance. It's everything has to fit under an asset, a liability, or owner's equity. Assets equal liabilities, what you bought on credit, and your investment in it. Now you're fixing to see the spiritual side of that. There has to be balance in nature, there has to be balance in the spirit realm. So when they send you something that they know they sent to afflict you, to balance what they think, balance out their karma, they'll turn around and buy you lunch. I'm talking to somebody right now that didn't know this. Okay? This is how they work. They'll turn around and buy you lunch and say that they're glad that you're better. It's a balancing of karma. Watch this. When people are sending you negative energies, trying to affect your life, trying to affect your relationships, for whatever reasons you may or may not know, identity changes everything. Oh, y'all, at this point, I'm having fun at this point. Um, Watch how things play out when they're sending you. They want things to happen to you. They don't want you to be stable. They don't want you to have a loving relationship. Why? It's not just out of it is jealousy, but it's, if you are in a stable loving relationship, that's an extra energy force that makes it harder to attack you. That's the spirit part. Okay? The natural part may be that if you're in a relationship that's gonna, on paper, should anything happen to you, make it harder for them or put another obstacle in front of them getting what belongs to you in the event something happens to you. It's got another person it has to go through. If you have a husband or a wife, showing you how these people operate now. It's time we put a whole spotlight on evil. Because there's a lot of people that live in that town. Okay? So, but watch, because when they send you these energies, when divine is finally fed up and say it's time to do a curtain call and close in on these evildoers, because he I'm using he because that's what y'all are familiar with, and will hold your attention. If I say she or they, most of us come from a Christian background. That would shut you down from even hearing what I'm saying for it to benefit you. So I'm going to say he says that he sits high and looks low, beholding the evil and the good. So there comes a time, and it says that he laughs at the wicked because he sees their day is coming. So we're getting to curtain call time and this closing in by divine. And let's connect this dot. They send you evil energies, wanting things. You can tell what they wanted or planned to happen to you by what happens in their life. Because, see, we're in the time of a good old backfire. I don't even want to say it right. I don't want to say backfire. We're in the time of the great backfire. I love a good backfire. So, if they sending you death, maybe their pet dies. And here you are having sympathy, empathy, recording them a whole song in memory of their pet. And all the time, what happened to their pet was what they wanted to happen to you. Not just wanted, they sowed seed into it happening too. Curtain call time. People don't believe, and this is another reason they don't want you operating in your gifts and try to put a stopper in your gifts and try to say that your giftings are evil and asking you, do you believe in Jesus Christ, when they don't really believe in Jesus Christ. That's just the mask they wear. Some of these people, you would be surprised. Some of these people that you cross paths with or that are in your life, you would be surprised. And maybe some of you wouldn't, because you've encountered too much with them. What's really in them and how they get down. Okay? But these are lessons, and I hope that the right people find this video and that it answers some questions for you. I'm talking about light workers. Y'all evil entities that come by here, because what I just did was expose the stuff y'all be doing. Your curtain is about to come down, or it actually probably already has, or is in the midst of coming down. So I don't care about y'all anyway, whether I know you or whether I've never laid eyes on you. Okay? Y'all, when I tell you, I said in another video, I was talking about this TPSU Charlie Kirk situation. Evil is getting ready to get somewhere and sit down. Light workers, people of the light, people that are actually of the divine, We are going to do what we came here to do. And earth shall be restored. When scripture says that there will be a new heaven and a new earth, how are y'all thinking that's going to play out? It's going to play out because there are people being sent here to raise the vibration to create a new earth. The physical earth is not going anywhere. What we've been taught and what most people believe is that these elements, the earth, are actually going to be destroyed, and that divine, I'm going with the stories y'all know, is actually going to destroy those actual things and start from scratch, Genesis, and build it again. No, it's already been built. What needs to happen is that these evil entities need to get the hell on. And so the light workers are that have these evil entities that have invaded Earth and caused it to fall and bring down its vibration, and has it under dark rule, hence what we see on the news and the things that happen in people's lives that are not good. Child trafficking, mistreating children, all this stuff. The vibration of the earth has to be right. Earth is not going anywhere, but your evil ass is. And only hit dogs holler. But I hope that this has shown a spotlight, center stage. You want to be evil, y'all want to be seen so bad, and you're jealous of people whose light shine because they've done the inner work for it to shine. It's not this fake J-Lo glow stuff. When you won't take up your cross and you actually do your inner work so you could shine in how you in who you are. You don't want to do that. You want to hate on people who have done and are doing the inner work. And rather than get somewhere in hermit mode and do your inner work, because that's too hard to face what happened to you and actually heal from it, you'd rather attack people who've done the work. Ain't that about a bleep? Light worker, this is how these people want to operate, but you crazy. You can't manage your own money and need to be under a conservatorship. You out here living, supposedly now, living loose and reckless and all this different stuff. When actually you probably live a boring life. And thank God for the boring life. Routine, there's something to be said about routine. But I do understand Ecclesiastes 3 says there's a time for everything. While I appreciate a good routine, sometimes it's time to shake it up. Okay? But to the light workers, to people who are of high vibration and are doing the inner work, I hope this, if you didn't know these things, I hope this shines a spotlight on evil. So yeah, evil, since you wanted a spotlight so bad and hating on people who do have inner shine from divine because they've done, here's your chance to be in the spotlight. Exposure in the middle of doing your evil and how you operate. This has been Yvette with Yvette's Turn. I think I'm gonna catch me a few more Z's. Ting.